Good afternoon, what is a warm, bright and sunny day. It is Thursday the 4th of May. I've got a nice hot cup of tea. And I don't have something to unbox, I do have something to unbag, which is this Dungeon Crawl Classics DCC Module 103, a Level 0 adventure, Bloom of the Blood Garden. So, it's a level 0 adventure, which means that it is for 0 level characters, and that's a special feature of Dungeon Crawl Classics, the character funnel, in which the players each take control of typically 3 or 4 0 level characters. They have no class, they have like a former occupation, and a couple of items from their occupation. So if they're a potato farmer, or a cheese, I say if the cheesemonger, it's going to be, like a cheese knife and a wedge of cheese. And then they go through a dungeon or adventure, and you name them, you roll them up, and you try and get them to survive. And then you pick, and if they survive, whichever survives, they get enough experience points to gain a level and gain all the benefits of an actual class. The thing is, they are really what they're relying upon in the main thing is your dice rolls, their luck, and your decisions. So they will die pretty much throughout the whole of the adventure, and you may find yourself losing all 4 of your characters, sometimes through no fault of your own, and then you'll have to take some characters from another player, and they're whittled down, and so on. And it's a great way to play, and actually create the background for a character. Here's my first adventure. Here's what I survived. I lost so many people. It was terrible. But so, Blood of the Bloom of the Blood Garden, and it's notably with this sort of like the appearance. We've reached the top, sort of the more than 100 titles of Dungeon Crawl Classics in 2023. Again, 20 years after the first one was published in 2003, which was Dungeon Crawl Classics 1, Eagles of the Rat King. We have this rather fancy metallic finish on the Dungeon Crawl Classics name and logo, and you can see that a bit better on the back there. I'm about to be visited. So, when a new master came to Cobb Hill Manor, dozens from the impoverished village of Pike sought employment in his service. The wages were fair, the work honest and dignified. Now weeks have passed with only silence from the manor, no word from the friends and family gone to Cobb Hill. What has happened among the shaded gardens and shadowed halls of the manor? Can a group of humble villagers brave the perils of Cobb Hill Manor to solve the mystery, or will they too be consumed by the darkness that dwells there? Blood will be shed before the mystery is solved. So we have a kind of classic kind of missing people. Villagers are worried about where they've gone, and so on. So I'm now being sat upon by the cat that is not ours. He really does like his company. And we open up, and we have this terrible encounter with strange creatures. A bloody encounter there. Introduction, explaining what it is, and if I say this, essentially we have Lady of the Corn. Now that as in hopefully not Children of the Corn, the film based upon the Stephen King story, but hey, I bet it's sure as hell close. And then the box section we have what is the demon seed? A mission statement. Okay, you've got an adventure with a demon seed. That's not going to be good. I mean, that's the kind of point of the adventure. So, and here we have sort of descriptions of the various locations. The garden, because you've got a manor house in the garden, and all the player characters went up there to sort of like work. Or the villagers went up there to work, and they're going to be staff working the gardens and the grounds and the house. So we have Cobb Hill Manor and garden, so quite a nice big sort of map there, kind of like a classic country house gone awry, including ending up quite literally in the manure head first, but at least hopefully it broke his fall, and it's clear that the owner of Cobb Hill has strange tastes and has been to strange places because he's got a strange statuary. And another piece of artwork, sort of like, you know, of it's a kind of a classic shot of approaching, you know, the castle or the manor house, looming up over the hill over the player characters as they advance. And that said, you see the player characters, they're kind of dressed sort of like armed and armoured. Yeah, you generally don't find that with zero level characters, you know. They have to survive by their wits. And then we get inside Cobb Hill Manor itself, and you know, you kind of go back to places like modules. Classic ones would be like Teagle Manor for this sort of thing, but this is a slightly smaller scale because you've got to take into account the garden and less, obviously not quite so random. But what you do have is this giant arboretum on one part of the house, and that's the ground floor. Oh, and they do say ground floor. It's an American publication saying ground floor. Sorry. I'm overreacting. There's my elation. There's the first floor. And then you've got a basement or cellar. Where there's something decidedly unwholesome and squidgy to encounter down in the depths. And so you've got a complete guide to running that encounter and ending the adventure. So options of ones included TPK, total party key, kill. Option 2, flee, cowards. And option 3, we can be cowards. Or option 4, now we are the baddies. Future adventure hooks. And don't go a lot on the future adventure hooks, but it does at least deal with the potential end of the adventure, what might happen. He's having a stretch. So yeah, visited by the cat who is not ours. And then here we have an interview with the author, Edgar Johnson. I thought that's a nice touch. You know, you get a feel for who you know, feel for whomever whose book you are playing. You know, for his author. So he's got a sort of like 2-page interview there, which adds a bit of flavour and sort of like shots of the Goodman games kind of stand at the conventions, because they do have quite in the United States they do quite a big convention presence. You know, and if you get a chance to go to Gen Con, they've got a big convention stand there, which is really full of good stuff. And the great thing is that it's coming to the UK and UK Games Expo the next month, and I'm sort of going, how much money I'm not going to spend. And the question is probably quite a lot, because there's a lot of things on there, interesting things from the old school Renaissance, from Dungeon Crawl Classics and other titles, which you can't get over here. You've got to go direct to Goodman Games, and being able to get them direct is always great. And they're also a really great team. So we've also got an advert for adventures for both Dungeon Crawl Classics and Mutant Crawl Classics. So quick list of there. Almost, it's all sort of done like an old school, an old time book advert, you know. And then advert for Dungeon Crawl Classics, Empire of the East, officially licensed by the estate of Fred Tobagon, which is a post-apocalyptic science fantasy setting for Dungeon Crawl Classics and Mutant Crawl Classics. There we go. And you know, we're with the band, which is the band of heroes and warriors for the Dungeon Crawl Classics. Their members have kind of changed and swapped out over the years. That's not all of them. There's the classically Hugh with the big bell-bottom trews is the most notable one. He's not featured there, but yeah. So that's Bloom of the Blood Garden, a DCC 0 level adventure for Dungeon Crawl Classics, a character funnel, if you will. That looks to be a lot of fun, actually. You know, and the other great thing is, if you do take this, you can run it with first level characters as well, but in general they're tended for the character funnel. Anyway, thanks for watching another unboxing in the Nook. If you've enjoyed this, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in Nook, where you will see me out here, well, typically with a parcel, but in this case, a Ziploc bag containing a book or game, which I will unbox or unbag and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching. Be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.